All right, thank you for joining me. Today's date is August 30th, wrapping up this August month, heading into September. Are you guys ready to enjoy the show through September, through some crazy events, crazy market moves? We're going to get into it all tonight. Current events, cryptocurrency, precious metals, all of the asset classes, as we partake in the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. I appreciate all of you guys. We just hit 40,000 on YouTube. Thank you so much. If you guys could always smash that thumbs up for me on YouTube, I would greatly appreciate that. 290,000 on the TikTok platform. The little TikTok platform. Wow. Truly incredible. And we continue to hit you guys hard on a daily basis with the news that matters most, the up-to-date strategies, okay? And how do we actually get our program to work out? Tonight's video is titled Massive Flood of Liquidity and Utility Incoming. XRP is not going to be the only winner, but let's not kid around. I do believe that it is going to be the biggest winner when all is settled up, when all is said and done, with the XRP ledger actually being able to scale up, not being a waste of energy. No downtime in over a decade, and the partnerships that matter in the real financial world. When we establish and set up a new financial system, a reset, restructuring, revaluation, great reset, great awakening, call it what you want, it doesn't matter. What matters is that there's going to be a lot of value moving around. We are investing accordingly in the assets that matter, the traditional assets of the stocks, the real estate, and the precious metals. We have strategies for that as well. And of course, we understand business, understand how to bring value to the world. We find a purpose and we try to take massive amounts of action. That is our program in the most simplest form for you guys. Thank you for tuning in. Let's get straight into the update. Thank you so much. I see we already got a super chat from Michael Cornwell. You watching Energy Web Token? I am not. Many people have told me to take a look at it, but that is one thing that I am completely guilty of. Two things. I'm guilty of getting way too hype on XRP, or is it too hype? Or is it going to become reality? And then the other thing that I'm guilty of is not reviewing enough other projects, not enough other coins. I am not your guy when it comes to researching Energy Web Token, and some of these other cryptos haven't even taken a glance, to be honest. At the time of this recording, our Bitcoin price is at 19,900, just hanging there on the edge, trying to break through, hanging around that 20K level. I'm not comfortable right now with this market. I do think that as far as being able to place my next Bitcoin short, I'm watching this market closely. I told my Discord group I'm uncomfortable here. I don't like this area. I'm waiting for a relief rally to come back in. Way too many people are bullish right now that I'm expecting. Although macro to the downside for the next few months, we have not bottomed out. Still need to see a crypto purge. Still need to see the stock market get cleaned up. Way too many overvalued assets still. We're coming back down to reality. So macro view, 3 to 6 months, we bottom out. But in the short-term trading mind, which I don't recommend trading for many people, but I'm just being straight up and honest with you guys, I'm looking to place my next Bitcoin short because I get off shorting Bitcoin. It's kind of just a little hobby of mine. But in the meantime, I'm actually looking for the market to recover slightly before we make that next big move down. Before we have a major event take place in September. Before that next massive event occurs. Okay? Ethereum trading just below 1,500. And it even pains me to even mention Ethereum every day. Like, we need to update ourselves when they can't even put out their ETH 2.0 update. But I don't want to rant. Let's get straight through this. Okay, XRP's at 33 cents. Let's get on into the news before I end up ranting here all night. This is a late night session. I do have a nice cold beverage poured up because I want to enjoy myself with you guys. As we continue to stay strapped in, we continue to work every day. I mean, we could do this all night, guys, because we understand the opportunity at hand and what is coming towards us. This is not a game. This is not, hey, let's catch some games, bro. This is, let's freaking survive the greatest financial setup in world history and take massive, massive action. Checking in, S&P 500 2008 versus S&P 500 2022 update. Still on track. When we look at Bitcoin, the bulls say September will be bullish for crypto. The bears, currently 5-year reigning champion in September. This is from my good friend Bare Naked Crypto over there on TikTok, showing us that September has been negative for the last 5 years. Going back to 2014, we were negative nearly 20% in September. So be ready for that, guys. Be ready. I am predicting that this September, we are going to get shaken up to the downside, but watch for this setup. Watch for this setup. A lot of people are bullish right now, and this is when they liquidate out the shorts before they really take us down. They take us down in the middle of the night when we're least expecting it, and they have crypto more manipulated than any asset class, period. Continuing on, Gold Telegraph. 2 weeks ago, Citigroup warned that the United Kingdom could see 20% inflation by January. Today, Goldman Sachs is warning UK inflation could top 22% next year. In early 2022, the Bank of England said that UK's largest banks are no longer too big to fail. This is the big question, is who all is going to get sacrificed in this setup? Much, much bigger, multitudes of bigger than the '08 crisis. Small businesses in Europe are toast. This is from Wall Street Silver. Can't survive selling coffee and pastries with monthly bills like this. Even major chains will shut down quickly. Looks like these people got a bill of 9,800, and that's in the euro note, in the euro denomination. Nearly 10 grand for the energy bill. So we're seeing the energy crisis really settle in. It had been getting a little rough out there in Europe, and we'd been kind of waiting to see it hit the prices. The prices have gone parabolic. If you haven't been tapped in, if you haven't been paying attention to the situation in Europe, which we've been covering nearly every day, I keep on thinking to myself, are people getting bored of this? People getting bored of the same news every single day? TD Bank says up to 25% drop in Canadian home prices by early 2023. Hold on tight. Every time I touch on the real estate data, I'm just like, it's not looking good. Every single asset class still needs to go down to the lower end. China's largest developer said first half earnings plunged 96%. The largest developer in China. We've talked about how real estate in China is, a $60 trillion sector, nearly. It was like $50-60 trillion worth of value in just the real estate in China. One of the most important sectors. Now, don't beat me up on the number. We'll go fact check. I'll have my people go fact check. But the point is, this situation is getting really intense as far as the numbers are terrible. China's largest developer down 96% on their earnings in the first half of this year. Nearly 40, and let me, one point on real estate. I've seen it firsthand. You guys know where I'm from in the Pacific Northwest. I see it in Seattle. I see it in Vancouver. And the surrounding areas have gone nuts. I've worked for the clients from China with cash. My business is completely legit. They're shocked when I tell them, well, I'm still going to have to collect sales tax. I'm sorry, but thanks for the cash. I'm all legit. It goes in my bank account. Thank you very much. And I don't question where they get their money from. I've seen it firsthand. We've seen it in our markets in Seattle and Vancouver. Went nuts. And that all goes back over there. And we're going to see the systemic risk is the main question. How many banks are going to fail? How many firms are going to go insolvent? In the crypto space, we already know, Brad Garlinghouse told us, 99% of cryptos go away. But when we look at the rest of the sectors as well, Chinese real estate, how's that going to affect real estate over here in the western coastal cities of the United States, North America? I mean, this is impacting the property market worldwide. These people standing up, not paying their power bills. I'm waiting for that to come out of Europe. That's going to be the next deal there. Now, as more and more people stop making payments, eventually, right, we go insolvent. People can't pay their bills. Someone's eventually got to pay up as we get $10,000 student loan debt forgiveness and that whole program that just got done by Sleepy Creepy Joe running the show. Shout out to Joe. We're going to be touching base on our good friend Joe here in just a little bit. Breaking. Nearly 40% of small businesses couldn't afford August rent. And this is what I'm talking about, guys. The numbers are horrendous, which we're ready. We're ready to pounce on deals. Cash ready to go for real estate. Chinese police have arrested more than 200 suspects linked to one of the country's biggest ever banking scandals. How many bankers got arrested from the 2008 financial crisis? Good question from Gold Telegraph. Not many is the answer. Not many. How many banks are going to go insolvent? How many people are going to be arrested? I don't want to say too much. How many people are just going to go away? Now, this one from Gareth Icke, David Icke's son, I believe. Yeah. What does he know that we don't, Gareth asks, in regards to Pope Francis instructing Vatican entities to move all funds to Vatican Bank by September 30th? What does the Vatican know? What does the Vatican know? Now, quick point on this. This is why I listen to Dan Pena so much. I don't care. Yeah, he swears too much. Whatever is up. He's an old man falling off his rocker, a little crazy. He's done deals with the Vatican Bank. That's why I listen to Dan. Just like with XRP Ripple, I say they're sitting at the tables that matter. My mentor, Dan, did deals with the Vatican Bank. And what are we seeing them do right now? Pope Francis instructing Vatican entities to move all funds to Vatican Bank by September 30th. We're talking about the end of a Shemitah year. Please go Google that if you haven't already. If you don't know what that is, Google Shemitah year. You can put as much weight as you want onto it. Call it all superstitious, not real. As I put out a video tonight, conspiracy, speculation, doesn't matter what you want to call it. Go pull up the charts every 7 years. Go pull up the news stories every 7 years, taking us back. What would that be? 3 Shemitahs ago would bring us back every 7 years, 21. 21-year anniversary of 9/11. Shemitah year. So when I say that we're about to have events, I pray. I send good vibes, good thoughts, whatever you want to call it, positive energy out. I don't even like speaking on it. What do they have planned next? What does the Vatican Bank know? The currency war, resource war is starting to hit people's pocketbooks, and the supply chain crisis is really hit a breaking point. Key case in point right here. Gazprom says it will halt supplies from September 1st until it receives all payments in full. This is Russia's Gazprom, energy provider. It says it will halt supplies from September 1st until it receives all payments in full. The next article. Breaking. Europe issues just got a whole lot worse from Wall Street Silver. Gazprom says it will halt gas supplies to France's Engie. Anyone tuning in from France can correct me on how to pronounce that one. Cites lack of payment. So France here getting shut down. These other countries getting shut down. So yeah, we have an actual war front being fought in Ukraine, which is why we have to watch this situation, which is why we talk about these world stage events, understanding the macro geopolitical issues. Because we knew this wasn't a game. We knew the woke program wasn't going to work out. It was really cute until your energy bill's 10 freaking grand. How's your program working out? We had to stand with Ukraine. Okay. I stand with the people of Ukraine. I stand with the people of all the other countries that are faced with conflict, issues, crises. I pray that anyone putting up a good fight continues their work, continues helping humanity. We have many problems. We keep on sending a billy to Ukraine. We don't know where it goes. And this is every week. Billions to Ukraine. No idea where it's going. Well, I can't say that. It's tough to talk on the war front issues in Ukraine, Russia, what's really going down. There's been a new line in the sand drawn, and that is Russia has definitely taken those eastern regions. And they definitely hold a nice hand when it comes to the resource war, the commodity war, and the currency war. Record amounts of gold, exporting more oil than they were before the war. And my mentor, Dan Pena, says that trillionaires are going to be made in Russia through the transfer of wealth that's going to be taking place in that country. And I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. I mean, we're going to see the world's first trillionaires in our time. Think of that. That's how much value's been injected, i.e., digits within the system. We're looking at energy bills that are out of Great Britain, out of Germany, out of some of these other countries already getting up there. We're watching the charts go crazy. We're watching everyone's strategic petroleum reserves in the West going empty, including the United States. And Russia's saying, pay up. And what are they demanding payment in? Rubles or gold? That's the other key part about this deal. They got a really good hand when they come to the table. That's why we don't focus on, okay, I stand with people for fighting for freedom in Russia too. You stand with Ukraine, stand with Russia. Hashtag this, hashtag that. Gets, folks, a language alert. I mean, I just can't. Let's get something freaking done. Hashtag bullshit, no. Let's actually implement a program that works. And let's understand the setup here. Because I don't want to be caught with the masses in the streets begging for food, shutting down their businesses, turning the key, having to file bankruptcy, giving up the home. And remember, the student loan debt, I was listening to Peter Schiff talk about this. The student loan debt payments, student loan repayment, and the other stimulus bills that are coming from the government are prolonging all of the foreclosures. All of the forbearance programs bought us time. The student loan payments buying us time. Because it's 10 grand that people don't have to put towards their student loan debt, now they're going to be able to pay off the other debt that they're in. As we look at the record amount of credit card debt that we are taking out in America right now. Record amount of consumer credit. We are bust. Now let's shift over to the other side of the world, to Taiwan. Today it was reported Taiwan military fired warning shots at a Chinese drone. Gordon Chang, author of The Coming Collapse of China and the Great U.S.-China Tech War on Twitter, says, hug the ones you love and pray China does not start a war in the next few days. And by the way, this would be an excellent time for the U.S. military to move to DEFCON 2. This is from Gordon Chang. I've actually never heard of this guy until I came across this tweet tonight, putting together my show. I mean, we're praying every night. Absolutely. Absolutely. We are prepared and ready. But we're continuing to watch this situation unfold. Back in February, my military sources said, after the Olympics, China moves on Taiwan. I said, okay, noted. Shared that with my Discord group in our conversations, our private conversations, right? I said, guys, I've gotten clearance to say this with this much. Sure enough, here we are. the world stage events, and we got Joe running the show. We're supposed to believe that Joe's in charge of our military. Do you believe that? Let me know in the comments right now. Let me know. Do you think that he's in charge of our military? I shouldn't be asking that question on this platform, but my sources also said that they're going to take Taiwan, no problem, and we're not going to put up a fight. But without further speculation, let's just let it play out. Okay? Biden administration to ask Congress to approve 1.1 billion arms sales to Taiwan per Politico. So let's go Billy to Ukraine every week. Now let's start bailing out Taiwan, student loan repayment. It's like the Oprah Winfrey show. Everyone, debt forgiveness. Debt forgiveness. And if you were wondering, Joe, he's ready to run the show for another 4 more years. Joe Biden officially files to rerun for re-election, FEC reports. Federal Election Commission reporting that our good friend Joe, looking to get a little bit more time in the White House as Commander-in-Chief. The Commander-in-Chief, right? Okay, we'll let that one play out. We won't speculate further on that. Gold Telegraph, Egypt will issue yuan-denominated bonds worth $500 million and has postponed the issuance of its dollar bonds due to high interest rates. So they're making bonds denominated in the yuan, the Chinese currency, okay? And they're postponing the issuance of the dollar bonds. Oh, gee, another country ditching the US dollar completely. Not giving a... Folks, Russia is ready to do deals with them. China, ready to do deals with them. You're seeing that Saudi Arabia's already been cutting deals with China and Russia as well. You're seeing other countries issuing bonds, dropping the U.S. bonds from their reserves in record amount, at record pace. And the Fed's telling us that they're about to offload their balance sheet of the treasury bonds and mortgage-backed securities, the pile of shit that they own. Who's going to buy that? Who's going to be the buyers? Egypt's not going to be buying it. They're postponing the issuance of its dollar bonds due to high interest rates. There are reports of Egypt approaching BRICS about an official membership. You don't need that much vision to see the next move. Absolutely. Absolutely. The writing is on the wall. Everyone's ditching the dollar. Everyone has a food and an energy crisis and a liquidity and a debt crisis. Every country, okay? It's hitting first in other countries. The masses are already in the streets, one after another. Every single live show I put out, we could share new protests hitting the streets in a different country. Today it was Haiti. It's just been one after another. I decided not to include one in this show because there's just one happening in every single country at this time, at this moment, as we roll into another election cycle. Not just here in the United States either. Eleanor Terrett. Let's get into our crypto news. We definitely got crypto news to talk about. Eleanor Terrett. My sources tell me Gary Gensler will be testifying in front of the Senate banking on September 15th. CFTC Benman will testify in front of the Senate AG Dems the day before. So we have Gary Gensler, head of the SEC, going in front of Senate banking September 15th. And we have CFTC Benman will be going in front of the Senate AG Dems. Now, we will be watching that. We will be watching that closely. Eleanor says, we will be interesting to see whether Gensler is asked to respond to Benman's answers on crypto. We definitely want to hear from both of them. We definitely want to see both of them held accountable. What the heck is going on at the SEC, Mr. Gary Gensler? Can we get something done, please? And let's get American innovation moving ahead. Okay, let's stop playing games. Let's stop playing games. We'll go back and look on who we want to go back and look on. And rolling us into this crypto news, folks, This is an incredible setup going into this month for cryptocurrency. Check this out. Gary Gensler is going in front of the Senate banking on the 15th. This is the same time that the Ethereum merge is supposed to be taking place. And I'm about to be showing you at the end of this, it's the same time that the XRP XLS20D, XLSD20, whatever it is, XLS20, the NFT update for the XRP ledger is going to be dropping in 2 weeks' time as well, as long as the 80% of the validators hold on with this current vote. We've reached 80% validation. Give us 2 weeks, then it is set within the rules of the XRP ledger. That is a simple man's understanding of what is taking place. And I'm going to be getting into that here shortly. But folks, this is an incredible setup going into this month for cryptocurrency. I know a lot of people are talking about settlement. A lot of speculation about settlement. I'm not even going to get into that, and I'm not even really talking about that right now. I've always said that this is the most staged lawsuit in the history of the SEC, and it doesn't matter when this thing settles up. We know we can't lose. We know nothing can stop what is coming. Invest accordingly. Is whatever that is to you. Is it 500 XRP? Is it 2,000? Do you want to stack a milli? I don't know. Do whatever you feel is best. I'm not here to offer financial advice. I'm just explaining the financial setup of the greatest setup in world financial history as I see it. You can invest accordingly. David Brady, once you realize that the Fed ultimately wants to inflate away the debt at the expense of the dollar, you won't need to watch the daily moves in gold and silver. You know that a Fed 180 is inevitable. The alternative is total systemic collapse. Precious metals would outperform then too. Either way we go, the suppressed assets, once they are set free, are going to much higher prices. I like to say set prices, because once this thing's reset, restructured, revalued, it's not the current price that the precious metals are at. It's not the current price that XRP is at. Other utility cryptocurrencies that actually are ready to solve trillion-dollar plus problems, markets valued in the quadrillions of dollars. As I just put out a little short tonight, little TikTok, I said, if it's not going to be XRP, show me who's ready to solve those problems. The Fed's in between a rock and a hard place here. Because the best way to pay off the record amount of debt that they've accumulated, and if you look at their complete balance sheet, not the $30 trillion in debt that the United States government is in, but the over $100 trillion of unfunded liabilities that the United States federal government has on its balance sheet. So once you realize that the Fed ultimately wants to inflate away the debt at the expense of the dollar, you won't need to watch the daily moves in gold and silver. We don't need to watch the daily moves in XRP or our other utility cryptos that we really believe in either. Other than to accumulate and dollar cost average, nothing has changed. Nothing has changed here. They've kept this thing stalled out way longer than I expected, but we finally have them admitting Fed now to be available by mid-2023. Volante Technologies sharing this, and the official partner with our federal government. Fed now to launch by mid-2023. Now, I will probably be dropping a little bit further deep dive on what the Fed Now payment does versus all of the other payment networks. From my understanding, the last time I covered and went deep on Fed Now, my understanding was that they were only going to be doing payments $25,000 and less. So it's basically the wire transfer system for the United States banking. Let me do a full revisited deep dive, okay, where we can really get into it. I've seen many people in the XRP community are on top of this, obviously. And I will see what I can put together for you guys as well. But obviously, Volante, 2015 Ripple partnership. That puts us back nearly a decade as far as the partnerships and the adoption that was being developed on the XRP ledger with people that matter, that are working on the Fed Now payment system. that are working on the central bank digital currency, that are working on solving wholesale payment treasury flows valued in the trillions of dollars daily. Remember, last time I visited this, I was telling you guys, FedNow, $25,000 and less per payment is what FedNow is about. Real-time settlements for quote-unquote small payments. At the larger wholesale level, you have the clearinghouse settling $2 trillion daily. On top of that, cross-border payments, international settlement with SWIFT, $6 trillion daily. Value of money that is held in nostro vostro accounts sitting idle so that the banks feel comfortable trusting each other. Nearly $30 trillion. Debt of the United States government, $30 trillion. Unfunded liabilities, $100 trillion plus. Global derivatives market, multi-quadrillions of dollars we don't even know because it's a shadow asset class with many off-book balances held in shadow derivatives. Quadrillions of dollars confirmed. We don't know the total amount. If it's not XRP, you tell me what ledger's ready to do it. Anders, with all the talks about FedNow, David Schwartz mentioned the benefits of domestic real-time payments in a speech. XRP would bridge different real-time payment systems. We need a bridge currency. I don't care what the CBDC is built on. I truly believe that the CBDC, no matter if it's built on XLM, XRP, doesn't matter. It's going to be interoperable with that inner ledger. It's going to be able to settle and be used on the XRP ledger with ease on the back end, 100%. In working to build modern international payments, we discovered that the biggest obstacle is often the very last hop getting the funds to the payment recipient through domestic payment system. But lacking connectivity to consumers, CBDCs won't solve the last mile problem that has been made modernizing international payments so difficult. Fortunately, domestic systems are modernizing. SEPA, Singapore, and others all have very strong domestic systems. The US is implementing FedNow, though that won't be live for another few years. This was put out years ago. The Volante partnership with Ripple, 2015. This is David Schwartz, though, right here, sharing this, and he continues on saying, so there is definitely an opportunity here to bridge domestic real-time payment systems such as FedNow, the clearinghouse for USD, with powerful benefits for SMEs and ultimately consumers around the world. There is so much money flowing around daily in these markets, right? And when we just look at who has the most partnerships that matter, who's ready to scale up to thousands of transactions, 50,000 transactions per second, hundreds of thousands of transactions per second already confirmed on the private ledger for central banks already built by Ripple. Oh, by the way, they created a solution so that you can build a CBDC on the XRP ledger in 1 day. That is solving $100 trillion problems in a day. Do you get that? That's like rolling over the USD over to the XRP ledger in a day. Could be done. Maybe it's already done. This is all speculation, as I put out in my video tonight. Was it a conspiracy when the group of private central bankers met in a very secretive meeting on Jekyll Island to create the Federal Reserve banking system, where they've been able to control us for over a century through this Federal Reserve system? Was that a conspiracy? Does that meet the definition of a conspiracy? Okay. So can I speculate on what the conspiracy is that is taking place right now? Can I speculate on the set price of these assets when the new financial system is rolled out? Is it okay to share a tweet from someone like Baba in a free country? Can we just have the conversation and ask these questions? Why do you think Volante was selected for Fed now? Why is Michael Barr at the Fed? Why is Rosie Rios on the board? Why did the overnight rates get adjusted, i.e. Sandy O'Connor, the most important woman in banking, Sandy O'Connor from JP Morgan Chase, joining the board of directors at Ripple? Why is Ripple at BlackRock? Why did Volante select the XRP ledger? Your future was determined years ago, USCBDC on XRP ledger. Here's what I agree with. Your future was determined years ago. David Schwartz, patenting distributed ledger technology back in 1988. So I do believe that our future was determined years ago. USCBDC on the XRP ledger, that is speculation. Cannot confirm that. Would it be cool? Would we see some gains? I laugh at everyone that hates on us. Oh, you missed the bull run. Oh, you're still under $1. Let's focus on getting to $1 first. It is irresponsible to talk about 3, 4, and 5 digits. Okay, well, let's have a responsible adult conversation. Call it what you want. Let's figure out who's going to solve these trillion-dollar problems. As we are witnessing a great reset, restructuring, revaluation, a changing world order, let's speculate on who comes out on top, where the value moves to, what gets settled where. Folks, why has everyone got to get all uptight? We got all this, division within the XRP community, and this is just a microcosm of the whole world. All this fighting. Let's just have the adult conversation. We don't have to get in their feelings about Trump, about XRP. Adult conversation. Let's figure out the truth. Hold everyone accountable. You can invest how you want to. I'm not giving financial advice. Many of the other influencers say not financial advice. So it's up to you to figure out what the conspiracy is, to speculate on what the set price might be. Emi Yoshikawa from Ripple. I forget what her actual official position is here at Ripple, but Emi, critical part of the team over there at Ripple. Huge shout out. She says, now the 2-week countdown begins for XLS 20, a new standard for NFTs on the XRP ledger. It's just so fascinating to see the community coming together and making decentralized consensus in real time. Let me explain this for you guys. At the same time that Gary Gensler is going to be coming in front of our senators, the Senate Banking Committee, hopefully being held accountable, at that very same time is when we are expecting the Ethereum merge to occur. The ETH 2.0 update will finally be arriving. Now, Vitalik Buterin said it will only be about 50% complete after the merge. And from my understanding, from what I can see, this is all part of the largest unregistered securities offering that has taken place in the crypto space. An ongoing unregistered securities offering. It is the most simple case to be made for a security by the Howey test. At the very same time, Gary Gensler, good guy Gary, going in front of our Senate Banking Committee, we will have the Ethereum merge taking place, the largest unregistered securities offering in the history of the United States financial system. Oh, and as well, we will have the XRP ledger updating. And let me get her words exactly from Emmy here. It's just so fascinating to see the community coming together and making decentralized consensus in real time. That's the key part of that statement. That is so powerful. Gary Gensler in front of the Senate Banking. Hopefully he's held accountable. ETH 2.0 being merged, being rolled out, only going to be 50% done. How's that program working out? Complete failure. Sounds like they're not even going to fix any of the issues. Sounds like a great time. I'm predicting that it's going to be the biggest flop, one of the biggest hype and failure moments in cryptocurrency yet. At that very same time, we're going to have the XRP ledger showing off for all how great it works, how great it functions in a decentralized consensus in real time, proving that Ripple does not have control of today's XRP network, i.e., you cannot classify today's XRP as a security. Now, Mr. Jungle Inc. put out a very popular little speculation on September settlement. Maybe you guys have seen it. And he's talking about the reasons for why we could see a settlement with the SEC. And he says that all future sales would have to go to basically accredited investors and banks and financial institutions. We are looking for some sort of settlement to take place, some sort of Ripple test to be established for the new financial system. In my opinion, good guy Gary will be able to be the showman who comes before us and presents this great offer, this great deal that they struck with the gentleman over at Ripple. And the hidden hand that has had their piece in the United States banking system will make sure that they get a piece of this new financial system. Absolutely, deals have already been done. As we talked about, your future was determined years ago. Is that speculation, or can that be confirmed by the hundreds of partnerships with banks and financial institutions? Miguel Valles telling us that Ripple was working with over 50 central banks. Multiple central bank digital currencies already built on the XRP ledger. You just continue to check these boxes with the XRP ledger in the showcase that we're about to have next month. At the very same time, could we see the markets absolutely getting slaughtered in a September end of Shemitah sacrifice? I put this speculation before you so that it can be laid down on the record. Let's continue to enjoy the show, folks. I do appreciate you all. It is always a pleasure. If you could smash that thumbs up for me, YouTube, I would greatly appreciate that. You can reach me at my website, zachrector.com. It is that simple of a program. It is that simple of a speculation on the new financial system and the conspiracy that is taking place behind the scenes. The hidden hand, the deals that have been done years ago. Will the settlement be in September? Doesn't matter. We've invested accordingly. From now, for the next 3 to 6 months, we have a show to watch. That is without a doubt. We will be strapped in till the very end. God willing, we're able to take advantage of this opportunity, survive and thrive while saving others. God willing. Wherever you're tuning in, I reach out to you. I say thank you. I appreciate you. You're fighting the good fight. If you're listening to this channel, you're fighting the good fight. All the trolls, all the haters, all the nonsense aside, we are tuning in our frequency, reaching far and wide. They're trying to stop it. They're trying to control this reality. They're trying to control our future. We are in a battle that mankind has never seen before. The technology, with that being said, I better wrap up this show. I will see you guys in the next one. It is always a pleasure. Thank you so much. Take care. God bless. And we will see you in the next one.